Welcome, everybody. This is our Thera Yoga class for today, and we're going to get started. So bring yourself into your chair, and hopefully you have that wedge shape so you can have your hips slightly above your knees. Sit down with those sits bones squared up to that surface and sit up tall. Anchor the rib cage in. Lengthen your spine as you breathe in. So as you inhale, feel that expansion, 360 degrees as best you can. Just to really feel that expansion and that length in your body as you inhale. And as you exhale, soften and relax a little bit. So let's move with a moving mountain as we sit here, inhaling and exhaling. Let's inhale and stretch those arms up overhead. Feel that stretch in the sides of your body especially. And as you exhale, soften and relax. And the elbows can bend, come back, bring those arms alongside your body in a comfortable way. Let's do that again. Inhale. Now, when I inhale, I also kind of press into my heels. So I activate my lower body as well as lift the arms up. And then exhale, everything relaxes a little bit, except that diaphragm, right? Blowing the air out of your body. Let's do that again. This time, let's keep those arms up here. As you inhale, stretch up, reach up, and maybe press into your heels a little bit. This time, as you exhale, take that right arm and gently lower it over to the right, sweeping it over, and then turn your head in that direction as well. That happens simultaneously. And then as you inhale, float that arm up, bring the head forward, feel the stretch. Exhale, float the left arm down and gently turn your face to look towards the left. Maybe you'll glance over your shoulder or just look down at the floor, easy. And as you inhale, the head comes forward again, the arm floats up, feel the stretch. You can wiggle your fingers if that feels good. As you exhale, float the right arm down, gently turning the head to look towards the right. Really relax that right arm down as best you can there. And then as you inhale, float it back up. Feel the stretch. The head comes forward again. Exhale, floating the left arm down, gently turning to look towards the left. Really relax that arm down. As you glance over to the left, notice what you're seeing. And as you inhale, float that arm up and bring the head forward. Feel the stretch. Let's do one more time on each side. Exhale, floating that right arm down, gently turning to look towards the right. Relax that arm down as completely as you can, and then inhale. It floats back up and the head comes forward again. Exhale, float the left arm down, gently turning to look towards the left. Really relax it as completely as you can. And then as you inhale, float it back up, bringing the head forward again. Feel that stretch. Now here, let's exhale and bring those elbows back a little bit as they begin to bend. Bring the elbows back, and right about here, when your elbows come right about here, lower, a little bit lower than shoulder, you can feel that crease between your shoulders. Can you feel that crease between your shoulder blades? Breathe, notice that crease. And just go down and up a little bit as if you're zipping that crease open and close, just a little bit. Feel that action between your shoulder blades, any amount. And then release those arms down, relax them alongside your body, shake them out a little bit. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, and let's do some shoulder rolls. So isolate the shoulders. Make it a tiny movement to start, really tiny. So you're activating the shoulders first in a very small motion. Hi, Anne-Marie, welcome. You missed some moving mountains, but come on and get yourself rolling your shoulders as you find yourself in your nice seated mountain. So get a little bit bigger with those shoulders, isolating the shoulders. So don't crane your neck or turn your body. Isolate your shoulders and get that movement just a little bit bigger. Forward, up, around, back, and down. Now let's go the opposite way. How does that feel? if you bring the shoulder back, down and back, and then up and around and forward. Ooh, feels different. Notice that a couple times. How does it feel? Really different. But you're bringing more mobility, so it's okay. Try it out. Bring the shoulder forward. Now shake it out a little bit, and then let's go back again. So it's really nice to have that forward, up, around, back and down. And that back and down is where you really want to find that home for your shoulders. So let's have this be the last one, and back and down, that shoulder's at home. Now the other side, roll it, and back and down, the shoulders are at home. And open up your palms here. Notice how you feel. So let's have those palms be in that receptive place. Now, before we move into our turn, our twist from the waist up, let's activate our feet a little bit. So think about your feet and the groundedness through the bottoms of your feet. Bring the awareness to the bottoms of your feet. Notice how they feel. Do you feel that connection between the floor and your feet? And even possibly down to the earth and your feet. Let's wake up those feet by inchworm forward. Any amount. Go maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times forward, and then back. 3 or 4 or 5 times back. Forward, inching forward, and back. Again, inch forward, and inch back. Notice how you feel. Bring your feet to as restful a place for your knees as you can. So that might be a little bit forward. You don't want to back like this so that you have too much of an angle at your knee and your ankles. So bring the feet forward, and let's sit up tall. Make sure your rib cage is anchored in, feeling that slight length in your side as you breathe, and tap. Let's tap for 30 seconds. The heels are on the floor and the fronts of the feet are tapping. Breathing deeply and gently, relaxing those shoulders, finding home for the shoulders, keeping the neck nice and relaxed as best you can. Keep breathing, tap, tap, tap. We've got about 10 more seconds. Good. And relax, relax. Notice that difference between the action and the relaxation, and really get into the relaxation. It's so important for us, that dichotomy. So notice it now. And then as you're ready, you can take one leg at a time and stretch that leg back. So fold the knee and bring the top of the foot to rest on the floor, and stretch the front of your leg a little bit, one at a time. Keep breathing. Switch sides so you can stretch that other foot back. And then bring it forward. Notice how you feel. Let's do that tapping one more time. So sitting up tall, tap, 30 seconds. Breathing gently, as deeply as is comfortable for you. About 10 more seconds. Keep tapping. And relax. Relax as completely as you can for a moment here. Take another breath. And inhale. Feel the length in your spine. Exhale. Relax. And then as you're ready again, stretch one leg at a time back. Resting the toes, the tops of the foot and the toes on the floor to stretch the front of your leg. Other side. Keep breathing. And then bring those feet forward into a comfortable place. So bean-shaped feet. Let's play with that just for a moment. So bring your feet so the outer edges are parallel. That may be a little bit pitch and toe. Does that happen for you? When I bring the outer edges parallel, my toes point in a little bit. Now I'm going to bring the weight to the fronts of the feet and lift the heels up. Turn the heels, bring the heels in like 1.5 inches or 2 inches, and then set them down. And look what happened. Now the toes are slightly out as well as the knees. That gives you that bean shape to your feet. That activates all those arches in your feet. And it's just a better alignment for your whole body. Okay, so sitting up tall, press into your heels a little bit. Press into those heels. Maybe the toes will lift up a little bit. Press into your heels. What happens when you press into your heels? Can you feel that muscular action up the backs of your legs, up your butt, and even up your back a little bit? Any amount, just notice, and then soften and relax. So again, press into your heels. Start that muscular action up your legs. How far does it go? Press into those heels. Do it as you inhale, and then as you exhale, soften and relax. And notice those subtle motions. One more time, pressing into your heels. Inhale. Just press into your heels. And notice the subtle activity in your body. And exhale, soften and relax. Let's open those palms up and do our gentle twist from the waist up and moving the arms as we have been doing. Okay, so relax those shoulders. Let the elbows be kind of back. And you can either have your hands out like this, if that's most comfortable, or resting on your thighs. Find where it's most comfortable for you. Feel that receptivity in your palms as you inhale. You can imagine some energy, some really healing energy coming into your palms. And as you exhale, just soften a little bit. Let's inhale with that imagining like you're receiving healing energy in through your palms. And exhale, soften a little bit. One more time, inhale. Now this time, let's exhale, bring that right hand over towards the left side of the body, wherever it wants to end up, relaxing the left arm, turning the body any amount from the waist up, looking towards the left. As you inhale, come back to that receptive place. As you exhale, relax the right arm down alongside your body and bring that left arm over to the right, installing some healing energy into the right with your left hand and turning your body towards the left. Inhale back to center. So moving at your own pace. Exhale, bring the right hand over to the left, turning the whole body from the waist up, any amount. Inhale back to center. Exhale, relaxing the right arm, bringing the left arm over towards the right, turning the body towards the right, any amount from the waist up. Inhale back to center. One more time on each side. Exhale, right hand over to the left, turning the body from the waist up, looking towards the left. Inhale back to center. And exhale, left hand comes over to the right, right arm relaxes down. The whole body turns any amount from the waist up. And inhale back to center. Notice how you feel. Let's let those arms just hang and shake them and wiggle them a little bit. And take your hands, shake, shake, shake. Shake all those fingers. And let's rub those hands together just really lightly. Just kind of rub them together. Feel how this feels as you bring them together very lightly. And if you have glasses on, take your glasses off. And for a moment, take those palms that you just rubbed together and rest them above your eyes. Take a breath. The healing energy from your palms is going into your eyes. Exhale. Let's take another breath here. Inhale. And this time as you exhale, release those palms out. Shake them out a little bit. Let's do that one more time. Gently. And it can be energetically. You don't even have to rub your hands together. If it's really hot, maybe you don't even want to rub them together. So this can be just energetic, kind of bringing that energy into your palms. And then take them again. And maybe the other one is going to be on top. And just rest them above your eyes or near your eyes, allowing that healing energy to come into your eyes from your hands, any amount. For 2 breaths. And then relax, shake it out. I have to put my glasses on again so I can see you. Okay, let's do a little side stretching here before we get up. So take your right arm up, wiggle it around, shake that hand. If it feels nice to just wiggle those fingers, shake the hand around a little bit, do that. You don't have to, just do it if it feels good. I like it, it just feels kind of fun. Now as you inhale, stretch the arm up mostly and feel the stretch in the right side of your body. And as you exhale, soften back to where you started. Maybe you move a little slower. Inhale, stretch that arm up. Feel the stretch. The whole right side of your body is stretching. And exhale, soften back to where you started. One more time, inhale. Feel the stretch. Let's stay here this time. And you can take your left hand and just feel that stretch as you inhale. And then the very slight softening as you exhale. Inhale, feel that slight stretch. It doesn't have to be much, just feel it. Exhale, soften a little bit. One more breath. Inhale, feel the stretch on the right side of your body. And this time, as you exhale, relax that right arm alongside your body. Relax the left arm alongside your body. And notice how you feel, comparing the right side to the left for a moment. Feels a little different to me. Does it to you? Let's do the same thing on the other side. So take that left arm up, wiggle it, shake it around, stretch those fingers, do what feels good. So bring the elbow back a little bit, shoulder stays low. And then as you inhale, stretch that arm up. Feel that stretch in the left side of your body. As you exhale, soften back. So not so much over, mostly up. As you inhale, stretch up. And exhale, softening back. This time you can take your right hand and feel that stretch as you inhale. And feel the slight softness as you exhale. 2 more breaths like that. Inhale. Feel how it feels as you stretch the left side of your body. Exhale, soften. 1 more breath. Feel the stretch. The whole left side of your body is getting a stretch here. And as you exhale, release that arm down to your side. Give yourself shoulder rolls. Shake it out a little bit. Notice how you feel sitting up tall. Let's do Uttanasana, standing up into our chair pose, fierce pose, whatever you want to call it. And this is always kind of an awkward thing to do, isn't it? Just do the best you can. And as you inhale, kind of lean back a little bit. Maybe those arms are going to sweep back just a slight bit. As you exhale, bring yourself forward. And maybe you'll have to kind of slide forward. And then the weight comes mostly in your heels, right? Feel that. Keep breathing. So with the weight mostly in your heels, you feel that length in your spine as you inhale, reaching through the fingertips. As you exhale, maybe you'll soften a little bit. Inhale, feel that length and strength. Can you feel the weight mostly in your heels, pressing you down? Exhale, soften. 1 more breath. Inhale. Feel that length and strength, reaching back through those hips. And this time, gently let those arms relax down. Reach for the chair seat and lower yourself down. Easy. You can take your hands on your knees and gently just lift those knees 1 at a time. Ooh, that one cracked. Whew. Keep breathing. Okay, sitting up tall, shake it out. Let's do our figure 4 and our stretch of the legs. So sitting up tall again, making sure your knees are comfortable. Pick up the right foot, the knee bends, and you can keep your hand on your knee if that feels good. Have one hand on your knee, one hand on your ankle, and do some tiny movements here if that feels good. Keep breathing. Rotate the ankle. Notice how strong that ankle is. Keep breathing. Little point and flex. And again, you can keep your hand on the ankle or not. Sit up tall. Work on your foot. A little bit of squeeze and wiggle for each toe. Up that ball of the foot to the instep. The arch or arches. You can work on both the top and the bottom. You have 2 hands, so one on top, one on the bottom. Manually giving that ankle a little point and flex. And if it feels good, to go up the shin to the knee. Give the knee a little extra love, and up to the thigh, to the hip, any amount that feels good for you. And then back down again, sliding down the leg. And here you can get your strap or use your hand and stretch this leg out. Keep breathing. As you feel complete on that side, gently bring that foot back down to the floor. Adjust yourself so you're seated up tall, nice and tall. And then you can do the other leg. So sitting up nice and tall, take that left foot. Bring the ankle to rest above the right knee. Work on your foot, your ankle. Do what feels good for you here. I like to give each toe a little squeeze and a wiggle, and then go up the ball of the foot to the instep and the arch and the heel. Oh, feels good, yeah? And you can manipulate that ankle a little bit manually with your hands. Does it feel the same or different than the other side? I notice this side feels different. Any amount up that leg. Giving the knee a little love. And up the thigh, to the hip. Sit up tall. And as you're ready, either with a strap or using your hand, stretch this leg out. And gently let that knee bend, bring the foot flat to the floor again. Sit up tall. Let's get some weights and do a little bit of weightlifting before we do our standing poses. So with the sits bones nice and squarely to that lifted chair, sit up tall, and you can start with a little calf lift. I'm going to go to 15 today. 13, 14, 15. As you're ready, find yourself really comfortably on that chair. Let the arms come alongside your body. Sit up nice and tall. And keep breathing. Your bean-shaped feet are there. As you inhale, feel the length in your spine. As you exhale, soften a little bit. Let's do our bicep curls in 3 increments. And I'll try and go slow. So here we go. First increment, just tiny little pumps. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the second increment, a little bit more of an angle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, as if you're in slow motion. 10. Third increment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Continuing to sit up tall. Lower those arms down nice and slow. Notice how you feel. Give yourself shoulder rolls with those weights in hand. Get those shoulders at home. Anchor the rib cage in. And now let's do let's do our tricep extensions. So bring the weights up, above and behind your head. And let's do 8 of these, nice and slow. 1, you can hold those weights together or have them separate. You choose how you want to hold those weights as comfortably as you can with neutral wrists. 2, 3, you can separate the weights. 4, feels a little different. 5, 3 more. 6, you can have the weights together. 7, and you can vary. 8. Now release them, let those elbows bend, bring the weights down slowly, comfortably, and let those weights just stretch your arms away from your ears. Now let's do our second set of bicep curls. First increment, tiny little pumps. 2, 3, 4, 5, nice and slow. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Second increment. 1, 2, excuse me, 3, 4. The slower you go, the better you build muscles. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Third increment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And lower down slowly. Keep breathing. Give yourself shoulder roll on each side. When you do that shoulder roll, do you notice that slight external rotation? So maybe your palms come forward in that shoulder roll. Let's make sure that your palms are forward for this time. So let's do our bicep curls. And maybe you already do it this way. So let's do one more set and change it up. So if you usually do it with your palms facing up, try it with your palms facing the midline. If you do it usually with your palms facing the midline, try it a different way, maybe with the palms facing up, okay? So here we go. Our third set of bicep curls. First increment, 2, 3, 4. You can change the angle of how you're lifting those weights. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Second increment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Third increment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And lower down slowly. So notice how that's different than usual, and it's good to get that variety in. Any amount, change it up a little bit instead of always doing it the same. I always find myself doing it this way. So once in a while, I want to change up and do it a little different angle, a little different way to hold the weights. It changes so that you're getting different aspects of maybe the same muscles or maybe even different muscles that you're working on, right? So notice that and vary it, even in one day. Today we varied it, so we're doing our non-habitual way as well as our habitual way. Okay, so let's come on up to standing now as you're ready. Have the weights nearby. And we may or may not use the weights. I think today, let's use the weights later when we get on the floor and do a bench press. That'd be okay? Something a little different. For now, let's find our mountain pose. So mountain pose with those bean-shaped feet. If you start with your outer edges parallel, bring the weight forward one at a time. You can do the right foot first, bring the weight forward. Now that means your knee is going to bend a little bit as you bring that heel in and then set the heel down. So now I've got my right foot set up. I'm going to do my left. I'm going to bring my weight a little bit forward as I bend my knee and lift the heel, turn the heel in. So as I turn the heel in, the knees and toes turn out. And that's where we want to be, settling there with bendy knees and hips. Weight mostly in the heels. Notice that. Maybe wiggle your toes a little bit. Notice how that feels. And then just find your mountain pose. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Okay, let's do a tree pose. So with support, if you need it and have it available, use it. With an inhale, shift to the right. Exhale, ground. Feel that groundedness. And then as you're ready, peeling that left heel up off the floor. The knee bends. The foot lifts to the toes. And then using the toes as the pivot point, the whole leg turns out gently from the root of the leg, any amount. Everybody's a little different. And then bring that foot to wherever you want to put it today. Find your mountain, your tree pose. Whatever tree pose feels good for you today, find that. And maybe if you have some support, you can play with your arms a little bit. Bring some fluid movements to your joints. Any amount, some nice fluid movements to your joints as you breathe in and stay centered on one leg. Now, as you're ready, return to mountain and notice how you feel. Keep breathing. Let's do the other side. So as you inhale, gently shift to the left, grounding. As you exhale, with your next inhale, peel that right heel up off the floor, coming up to your toes. Feel the connection between your toes and the floor. And then gently turn that leg out. Any amount. Doesn't have to be much at all. Now bringing that foot to press gently into the standing leg, either above or below the knee, or you can rest the foot. Just rest it on top of your instep. Don't press it there, right? Keep breathing, whatever you're doing. And again, you can bring some fluid movement to your upper body, any amount. Those arms move in a fluid way. Keep breathing. Here's a heart, rainbows. Keep breathing. And as you're ready, return to mountain. Notice how you feel. Keep breathing. Shake it out a little bit. You can shake all those limbs out a little bit. Roll those shoulders. Do a little rebounding. Keep breathing. Now let's do a different balance pose. So very similar, except we're going to bring one foot forward, okay? Instead of turning the leg out, we're just going to bring the foot up, okay? Or bring the knee up. Inhale, shift to the right. Exhale, ground into that right foot. Really feel that groundedness. And then as you're ready, gently bend that left knee and come up to the toes on the left side. Maybe just the big toe or just the second toe is gently resting still on the floor. Bounce it a little bit. Bring some awareness to those toes. And then if it feels right for you, release the foot from the floor. Shake it out. And if you have support, use it so that you can strengthen that standing leg and shake the other one out a little bit. Okay, so after you shake it out, then extend it. Any amount, just a little bit. If it feels good, extend. Straightening that knee a little bit. Keep breathing. And then as you're ready, gently bring it back to your mountain pose. And bring the weight into both feet, mostly in the heels. Notice how you feel. Let's do the other side like that. With an inhale, shift to the left. Exhale, ground. You feel that softness as you ground. The knee and the hips a little bit bendy, and then peeling that right heel up off the floor. Come up to your toes. Be aware of those toes and bounce them a tiny bit, just very gently. Bounce and then release. Shake it out. Keep breathing. Shake that foot and extend it. Any amount. You can take your hands and help it. You might have to do it on the other side since we didn't do it on the first side. So as you're ready, return to your mountain. Notice how you feel. Weight in both heels mostly. Find that long spine. And let's do it again. Shift to the right. Ground as you exhale. Inhale, peel that left heel up. Coming up to the toes, bounce a little bit and then release. Now you can take both of your hands and any amount, if it feels fun, help that leg to extend in front. Press into that standing leg. Feel the length in your spine, even as you lift that foot forward, any amount. And maybe you'll lean back slightly. Now go ahead and relax it back down to mountain. Notice how you feel. Let's do the same thing on the other side with an inhale, shift to the left. Exhale, ground. Feel that softness, that bendiness. And as you're ready, peel that right heel up off the floor. Release it. Take both hands. Help it a little bit. Extend it. Keep breathing. Lean back just slightly if that feels right for you. And as you're ready, release that foot back to mountain. Notice how you feel. Shake it out. Keep breathing. I need some water. Maybe you do too. Get some water. And now let's come on down onto the floor and do a few of those bench presses. We'll do some of those pelvic floor exercises too. So you might want to get yourself set up for your feet up later. So I'm going to have my chair here all ready for when I want to put my feet up the chair and relax completely. So now come onto your back with the weights nearby. And before we lift any weights, let's stretch that spine a little bit. Become aware of how you feel on the floor. So I like to gently press down on the tops of my hips a little bit to kind of release the lower back, then anchor the rib cage in, and then bring my hands to the neck and lengthen it a little bit. And then snuggle those shoulders home. Okay, relax here. Breathe. Again, before we do our weightlifting, let's do a couple of things here. So as you're ready, with an inhale, if it feels good for you, pick those feet up off the floor. And as you exhale, draw your knees towards your chest. Do that a couple times if it feels good for you. Kind of stretching that lower back a little bit. And then let's bring the feet down. Have the palms resting alongside the body. Let's do a couple of half bridges here. So with an inhale, press into your feet, float the arms up, float the hips up, feel this stretch. As you exhale, float everything back down to the floor. Do that again. Inhale, floating the arms up, the hips float up. Feel those gluteals working in this lifted state. And as you exhale, relax and float everything back down to the floor. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, floating those arms up, floating the hips up. Feel this half bridge. Let's stay here. As you exhale, soften a little bit. So you'll dip down, maybe almost to the floor. Let those elbows come out to the side. Inhale, stretch up. Squeeze those gluteals and stretch the arms up overhead. Drag the heels isometrically towards the shoulders a little bit if that feels good for you. Exhale, soften a little bit. Go ahead and dip down, maybe almost to the floor. Let the elbows come out to the side. One more time. Inhale, pressing into those heels. Squeeze those gluteals, reaching the arms up overhead. And this time as you exhale, float everything back down to the floor. Let's stretch the legs out here and do a pencil stretch before we do our bench presses. So inhale, stretch out the fingertips and out the toes, bringing those arms up overhead. Maybe you'll squeeze those ears just a tiny bit with your upper arms as you exhale, soften and flop. Let's do that again. Inhale, stretch from the core, out the fingertips and out the toes. And exhale, soften and flop. Okay, now let's get ready for our bench presses. So snuggle around, get comfortable. The spine is nice and stacked. You can have your feet stretched out or your knees bent with the feet flat on the floor. Do what's most comfortable for you. Before you get started, make sure those elbows and shoulders are in a comfortable place. So draw the shoulders down and the elbows can be right by your waist. Make it most comfortable. They don't have to be up here, right? That's not so comfortable. Bring them down to a comfortable place. Let's do 20 of these bench presses. So as you're ready, press up. There's 1, 2. 20 is easy for me because I only have 2-pound weights. If you have more, you might want to stop sooner. You choose. There's 4. And you can do this movement without weights if you like. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you feel your core involved? 10, Feel your core. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Set those weights down. Notice how you feel. Keep breathing. Let's do a pelvic floor strengthening exercise now. So if you have a block, take that block and put it in between your thighs, kind of up near your groin. And the purpose of this block is to keep your knees from knocking together, okay? So using that block to keep your knees apart, as you inhale, bring your feet up and make these right angles. You've got a right angle at the knee and at the hips. So you're really going to use your pelvic floor here. So get comfortable and inhale, bring your heels down, tap them on the floor. Exhale, lift, maintaining your right angle at the knees. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Let's do that 12 times. That's 2. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. 3. If it doesn't feel right for you, don't do it. Do something else. Here's 5. 6. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Now let's bring those feet down, relax. Move that block out of the way and just notice how you feel. Take your hands and put them on your lower abdomen. Breathe there. So breathe into that deep place for a moment. Inhale. Feel your hands lifting a little bit. Exhale. Press the air out. Feel that activity of the diaphragm. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Okay, so now I think we're done with the weights. Let's put the weights out of the way, and we're going to come up into our Viparita Karani. So legs up, a virtual wall. We'll do that for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll choose either you can lay flat on the floor or you can have your feet up for the final 5 minutes. So Viparita Karani, you're on your back again. And if you want to use some support under your sacrum and hips, you can take a folded blanket or a bolster or a block. Come up into a half bridge and slide that surface under your sacrum, your tailbone, and your hips and get comfortable. Notice how you feel. As you're ready, you can bring one foot at a time to lift those soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Breathe, relax a moment here. Keep breathing. Adjust yourself for comfort. And with an inhale, stretch those heels up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, soften. Let the knees and ankles relax as you exhale. Inhale, stretch those heels up. So what happens? Your ankles flex, your knees straighten, and you feel that stretch in the back of your legs as you inhale, and then as you exhale, soften all of that. So let it relax. Feel that dichotomy as you inhale. Feel the stretch up the backs of your legs or wherever you're feeling it. And as you exhale, soften and relax. Okay, now let's just shake it out a little bit. Just a little bit. Shake your feet. Shake your knees, shake your legs, whatever feels good. Shake it a little bit. And then let's ankle rotate. Rotate those ankles. Go one way, go the other. And you can do both in unison or opposite. Just rotate the ankles one way and the other. And then do a little point and flex, point and flex, keeping the knees a little bit bendy. Point and flex. How's that feel? As you point your legs, can you feel that slight stretch in the fronts of them? As you point your toes. And then flex, point, flex, good. Shake it out a little bit again. Let's take that right knee and gently bend it. And I'm just guiding with my hands. I've got my hand resting on the top of my knee. Just kind of support it, give it a little extra love. So I'm gently bending the right knee and bringing it towards the right shoulder. The left leg stays stretching up. Breathe, relax here for a breath or two, and then switch sides. So now the right leg is going to extend and the left knee gently bends. You can take your hand and guide that knee gently with your left hand. The right leg stays stretched up towards the ceiling and the left knee is gently bent towards the shoulder. Let's do that again on each side, switching sides. Can you do it simultaneously so that one leg is straightening and one knee is bending simultaneously? How does that feel? As you're ready, switch sides again. Feel that connection between the two sides as you switch. One leg straightening, one knee bending. How does it feel? Oh, it feels so good to me. I hope it feels good to you too. Let's do it one more time. Now, stretching the left leg up, bending the right knee simultaneously. How does that feel? Two or three breaths there. And then switch sides again. Now the right leg is extending as the left knee bends. Two or three breaths here. And then extend both legs up. And notice how you feel. You can take your knees with your hands and give those knees a little extra love. And one at a time, bend a knee and bring that foot to the floor. And then the other foot to the floor. Let's lift up off that surface that your tailbone and sacrum and hips are on. And now it's time to find either your feet up a chair or a wall to rest completely, or stretch yourself out. You choose how you want to do this meditation pose. Any pose that is comfortable, you can keep your spine lengthening, is allowed. You choose how you want to be. And I am going to mute myself for this 5 minutes, and then we'll come back together and do our ohms. So your job now is to relax as completely as possible. As you're ready now, begin to breathe a little more deeply. You can start some movement in your body, stretch and wiggle those fingers and toes. Come up into a seated posture, using your arms to help yourself up. Keep that neck as relaxed as you can. After you bent your knees and rolled over to the side. Okay, so we can do our ohms or bumblebee breath now. Please unmute yourself if you'd like. And sit up nice and tall. Remember, you want to exhale completely in preparation for 3 deep breaths with sound on the exhale. Here we go.